Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? I don't know. Are we live? Where's the pictures? Hello, hello, hello. Okay, we are live. Manchester City 1, Manchester United 2. We are FA Cup champions. We did it. Congratulations to everybody. What a day. What a day. Absolutely fantastic. Just making sure that the stream is working. Okay, because YouTube was acting a little funny. Ray, good to see you in here. Lyle, good to see you in here. We're waiting for Richard. Hopefully he's I don't know how many beers he's down, but come on. Lyle, yeah. Hey, Eric told you today you are Eric. Today I am Eric. Today I will be Eric with the K. I am happy to be Eric with the K. Absolutely. I mean, what a performance from the lads. What a performance from the team. The resilience, the grit, the fight that these guys showed. And it was pretty much what I was hoping for when we got to the end of the stream yesterday, what I was talking about, to just go out there and, you know, just do it. Just do it for yourselves. Do it for the manager. Do it for the club. They fought hard. Everybody did their jobs. I think everybody did well. I'm not gonna criticize any player too hard today. I think everybody did their job and they deserve their flowers today. Ray's been in here for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. He's been saying that we're gonna beat City. We're gonna beat City, and we beat City. So, you know, he's been saying it all the time. So. And we did it, and I certainly had that feeling yesterday. I don't know what it was. I think it was the talk of Ten Hag getting sacked. I just felt like that all that added nonsense from the outside was going to spur the team on. Really, that's what I felt in my heart. And you know, but before we really get on to the match, I just need to say that I really hope that these guys do not sack Eric Ten Hag. I don't think he deserves it. I think he deserves to stay. I think it will be a massive mistake if they do it. You can see that this manager can manage. He can manage. He needs help. No manager has had help at this club for quite some time. I think we have somebody here that can definitely get a job done, for sure, and with the club operating in a proper way, I think he can go on to build something very, very strong and very, very concrete at this club. And you know what? Listen, if they were thinking about it, even if they've maybe made a decision, internally and not officially, I think they should reevaluate their position. I think there's certain moments, you know, in football where maybe things are going to happen and it looks certainly set in stone, but it's never too late to change your mind. It's never too late to change the path that you've chosen. And if they have chosen, I think they should take a moment to reevaluate their decision. Eric Ten Hag should definitely stay here. And you know, you guys are showing the support for Eric Ten Hag in here. 100%. Lyle saying the team was damn motivated. Absolutely they were. And you know, this is what they show. And to all the critics that are still coming out and saying, why can't the team, why hasn't the team, the pundits saying, why hasn't the team played like this all season? It just shows you the difference when we have our best 11 available, when we have our best team. Lions, good to see you. Not too shabby. Absolutely. Absolutely. Not too shabby. But when we have our best team available, you see the difference in performance. You see the levels. Obviously, the occasion was a big occasion as well. But, you know, you could see the difference in the performance. You could see the confidence. You can see just the strength and the leadership by having certain players on that pitch that we have been missing all season, and it does make a difference. And at the end of the day, listen, there's times that it hasn't been great. There's times that Eric Ten Hag has made mistakes, absolutely. And for those times, he should be absolutely criticized. But again, I will sit here and say to pin this entire season for it not going the way we wanted it to is completely and 100% unfair, and I don't think it's correct. And I will sit here today and I will say that if INEOS do decide to sack him, I will 100% say that I think it is an absolutely wrong decision, and they will have to deal with the consequences that come out of that, because things like this turn the tides. I'm seeing a lot more support for Eric Ten Hag. We've talked about that he needed this. He needed to win this. The club needed to win this, but he needed to win this. And it was important, because if he lost this, I think the narrative would be very different right now. I think a lot more people would be okay with him getting the sack. But he showed that he can get us somewhere and he can win us a trophy. And not on one occasion, he's done it twice. He's got us to 3 separate finals. And he's won 2 out of the 3 times. So it's not like he is a total waste of time. It is not like he is a total loss. And this manager should absolutely carry on into the next season. But just on the match, I mean, Amrabat was absolutely solid once again. I was a little bit worried by his speed. I was worried about, how long he takes. He gets stuck on the ball. That didn't really happen to him. I thought the game plan was excellent. We did exactly what we needed to do. Stay compact, frustrate City. And everybody just did their job. They got to all the balls first. When they needed to get to the balls, they put their foot in on the ball when they needed to put their foot in on the ball. And everybody did their job. Onana gave us a little scare there at the end, making the error. He should have saved it. But again, he had a fantastic couple of saves throughout the match. It was 1 or 2 from Kyle Walker. He had to make those saves. He made those saves. They were fantastic saves. So, you can't go too hard on it. I think Richard is out celebrating. I don't think Richard's at home. I think Richard's out. So Richard might not be joining us today. But listen, we're gonna toast up to Richard and to the entire United fan base. We're gonna toast it up here. Absolutely. This is for Richard and for the rest of the United fan base. Let's go. Let's go. This is what this club is all about. This is what this club is all about. We were the underdogs. Nobody gave us a chance. We've had a terrible, horrible season in terms of standards for United. And what have we done? We went out there and we put out a performance like we've done throughout the history of this club. We've persevered through horrible times. And on the last day of the season, we've made a statement yet once again that this club is not dead, that we will never die, and that Manchester United will continue to go. And Manchester United does have a future. And that future is those young players that we have. I thought Kobe Mainoo, absolute man of the match, fantastic. And that kid is absolutely just the future. He is the future for this club. He is the hope of this club, along with Alejandro Garnacho. Rasmus came on, did his thing when he came on, showed strength, muscling, with the center backs of City, winning the ball, making important plays at the end of the season. And, I think this team, we definitely have something to look forward to. We have a lot of things that we need to fix. We have a lot of work that we need to do. We can start finally focusing on that now that the season is totally 100% over. Axe Lord, it's good to see you in here. But absolutely, I think, what a performance. What a performance. Lion is in here. It's good to see you guys. I'm glad you guys are in here. Mainoo is just something different. I mean, that kid is just I don't have words for the kid, to be honest. Besides the same words that everybody says. The composure that this kid shows, the class that he shows, the ability, the skill that this kid shows is just unbelievable. It is unbelievable, and it is almost, a gift sent from God that this kid has come through the youth academy at a time when you could probably argue that we absolutely needed him. He has come into the first team at a time where I think it is a perfect time for him to come through. Him, Garnacho, I mean, that Manu goal was an absolute class of brilliance. Started from Marcus Rashford, um, went over to Garnacho. Garnacho did well, laid it off to Bruno. Bruno scanned beautifully, knew exactly where Mano was, knew exactly what he was going to do before the ball even left Garnacho's feet. He was just waiting for it. Came, gave it to Manu, and Manu, beautiful finish. I mean, that goal is absolute class. And that is something that this team can do. Now, I do want to say, to the criticism of why can't we do this all season? Well, number one, it's the players, the availability of players. I've been saying this all season. Our starting 11 is a very good starting 11. We can accomplish things with the starting 11 to a certain point. When we go beyond the starting 11, we have a little bit of trouble. And we do suffer. And when you go beyond the 15 players, it starts getting messy. I mean, we've played with 15 different center-back pairings. We've had Casemiro as center-back. We've had no left-back. We've had, the midfield gets disrupted because of that. Højlund was in and out of the team. Injuries all over the pitch. And you can see the difference. And also, you know what? I think today just showed that, if we do want to see the exciting, progressive, attacking football that I think we all want and that I think Manchester United should be playing, today was no more of a bigger indication than you can possibly get. Then you've seen the difference. Today we played counter-attacking. Today we let Manchester City get possession of the ball, which was obviously always going to happen because they are better on the ball, they are better in possession, and they are better holding it. And it was something we had to do. But we got, and we should have had that clean sheet. Unfortunately, Onana made the mistake. But we played a very good game. We had a game plan, and we seen out that game plan. We were strong defensively, which is something we were last season. And we seen it, we seen today the difference. This team was bought, these group of players for the most part were bought for a style and identity that was counter-attack. It's through at least 2 to 3 managers. And we're going to need to change some things going forward. I am absolutely saddened that Raphael Varane is leaving because I thought Raphael Varane was fantastic. Lisandro Martinez was fantastic. How good was it to see both of them back together for one last dance in the back there to win this trophy? I mean, I was absolutely over the moon. And, I think we couldn't have asked for a better ending to the season. This is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what you guys wanted. And, we went out there and we did it. We did it. This is what this club is all about. At the end of the day, this is what this club is all about. We're going to do player ratings, as well. Let me check because there's been some statements being made. Obviously the thing over Ten Hag is still looming, unfortunately. I believe Sir Jim Ratcliffe has come out and made some statements that aren't really the best at backing Eric Ten Hag. It could have been stronger, I believe. I have to find those. I haven't seen them, but I think he's done it on ITV or something like that. So, but Eric Ten Hag speaking on our two young stars, Kobe Mainu and Alejandro Garnacho, saying, "I'm very happy. They have potential to meet the standards in top football, and they absolutely do. 13 FA Cups. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing." Eric Ten Hag saying, "I really enjoyed this final, especially the way we played. If you play in this level against the best team in the world, I am happy to see that." Eric Ten Hag talking about the squad. He said, "We need more quality. The depth in the squad is by far not good enough." So there you go. I like these statements. Eric Ten Hag, obviously, he spoke early hours in the morning before the FA Cup final. And he made some very strong statements that I support 100%. I completely back everything he said, and I think that he is absolutely 100% spot on, and I think he's in the right to make the statements that he's made, considering the media narrative against him, the media narrative against the club, and just the sheer lies and hate that they've shown this man. They want this guy to get sacked. They want him to get sacked. They don't like him. And it's really a shame that they have to treat somebody like this. But unfortunately, that's what comes with Manchester United. Nobody ever gets a real fair shake. I mean, they even used to try to pull it on Fergie. Even after all the stuff that he's achieved, they would still try and do it. But a lot of them didn't try and do it because they knew better. But there was still always one or two. Ray saying only in United can have a game like this and then fire the manager. Well, I mean, but this is what I'm saying. I think they need to reevaluate their decision, and I hope, there's been some talks that because of what Eric Ten Hag said, because he did say that INEOS or whoever told him directly that they want to build with him going forward. There has been this discourse that the media have been lying. Either that or INEOS lied to Eric Ten Hag. From what I see right now, a lot of the fans believe that the media are the ones that are lying. The media are the ones that have been putting this out there to pile it on top of Eric Ten Hag. They were anticipating Manchester United to lose this match. It would have verified them. There's also the possibility that they really didn't make the decision and that they would review it at the end of this season. And hopefully that is the case, because if so, then they definitely have to take this into account with everything else that he's done in the past 2 years at the club. So I hope he continues to go on. Rajat, good to see you, Rajat. How you doing? Lyle saying, "Disgusting interview from BBC Sports, though. Shearer and Lineker really asking Eric Ten Hag stupid questions. Didn't even let the man enjoy the moment." Alan Shearer is, first of all, he's a moron, and he's a sore loser. He's a sore loser. He is upset that Newcastle have finished above us and they ain't gonna play in Europe. And Lineker ain't no better. He's just just a hater. He's been a hater. He's always been a hater. And that's what I expect from them. I expect that from them. So it's not something that absolutely enrages me, because I expect that from them. I don't expect any better from these guys. I expect that from them. They are sour. They are sour and they are salty. Absolutely 100%, especially Alan Shearer. I heard what Alan Shearer said, and he was speaking absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Rajat saying, "Keep Eric Ten Hag 100%. I was really about to cry, but had to hold it back." Listen, if you want to cry, man, go ahead. It's all right, buddy. It's all right. It's been a tough season. And, we've been in a period where you don't see too many trophies as much as we used to. And you know what? You got to enjoy it as it comes, because as we've learned the hard way as Manchester United fans, you never really know when the next one is going to come. You never know when the next one is going to come. So just because we won this one doesn't mean we're going to get one next year, and it doesn't mean we're going to get one in the next 5 years. You would hope so, but it doesn't guarantee anything. So you got to enjoy it as it is. Rajat saying we sort of got revenge on Chelsea, sending them to the Conference League. That too. 100%. You know, we've in the process we've screwed over Chelsea, we've screwed over Newcastle. Especially happy about the Newcastle one because they seem to be, you know, these loudmouth, arrogant people because now they're the richest club in the world or they have the richest owners, right? You know, and they want to have some type of rivalry with Manchester United, but they're nowhere near our club in terms of how big we are. So, you know, they're these loudmouth people, but they can't step in the shoes of Manchester United ever. I don't care how much money they have. Ray saying Jim Ratcliffe snubs Ten Hag sack. Rajat saying doing their job, keep continuing to ask dumb questions. I mean, yeah, listen, if that's what they want to pay them for, then that's what they can pay them for. But then they wonder why the media, the traditional media is dying. You know what I mean? So let them go down that path. Everybody chooses their path, and everybody has to deal with the consequences that they have to deal with from the decisions they make. And that's something that I said about INEOS. Listen, I would highly say that they should not sack Erik Ten Hag. If they choose to sack Erik Ten Hag, I will not be happy about it, but they will have to reap whatever comes from the decision they make, and they are going to tread a very, very, very thin and dark path. If they sack him and it goes wrong within that first season, they will lose the fan base, and I think it would be very stupid of them to do that. Axelord saying we won incredibly. Yes, we did. Sailors sailed through tough seas. Yes, they do, Ray. Man United, 1 FA Cup win off Arsenal. Wow. Yes, we have 13 FA Cup trophies. And just to put it in a little bit more perspective, right? Erik Ten Hag in 2 seasons at Manchester United has more trophies than Mikel Arteta at Arsenal. But they won't mention that because Arteta plays beautiful, good football. But what has that beautiful, good football won them? Nothing. So, you know. And I think we deserve Europe anyway, because I think what Chelsea did to Pochettino was a disgrace. He got them in a position and they sacked him anyway, or they let him go. So, you know, Lyle, number 13, baby. I'll have fries with that. They have a beer with that as well. Fries, some beer. Let's get it. Exactly. Axel saying exactly Erik Ten Hag is better than Arteta. Well, listen. He's doing a better job. I cannot understand this. I cannot understand this criticism. Like, some of the people that I see speaking about Erik Ten Hag, they really talk about him like number one, they're smarter than him. Number one, they know better than him, and number 3, they would do a better job than him. It's crazy, the disrespect in the manner they speak on him. Like, you might not have to like him, you might not necessarily want him at the club, but the way some of these people go and speak about him, like he is clueless, like he doesn't have an idea what he's doing, like he's inexperienced and he hasn't managed ever. It's absolutely crazy to me that people can speak like that on this man. I don't understand it. They refuse to look at any of the facts of any of the circumstances around, and they completely blame him, and they come up with this narrative of he's naive, he doesn't know what he's doing, you know, he's not good enough. You know, and today he's shown otherwise. He's shown otherwise. He absolutely schooled Pep today. Pep didn't have a fucking answer today. He didn't have an answer. He made substitutions at halftime, substitutions 20 minutes in. He didn't have an answer for Erik Ten Hag today. He didn't have an answer. He didn't have it. And with that squad compared to our squad, and many would argue, obviously, and they would say that they are the best team possibly in the world right now, and you look at their squad, and they still couldn't fucking figure out how to break down the game plan that Erik Ten Hag set up Manchester United in today. And that's it. Listen, if it was backwards, they would be championing Guardiola. They would be saying, "What a masterclass from this guy. He's a genius. Pep's a genius." All this shit. And at the end of the day, they still don't want to do it after he's done that. And like many of you have said, they want to come out and they want to talk about his job. Listen, he's not even talking about his job. Erik Ten Hag's going on a holiday. He's celebrating today with his players, with the fans, and he's going on holiday. He doesn't seem like he's too worried. So, and they want something to talk about other than us being champions. They never wanted us to win, and we did it anyway because that's what this club does. That's what this club does. Like button, people, smash it. Yes. Smash it, fudge it from line. Yes, please, guys, smash the like button for me if you can, real quick. Greatly appreciated. Helps us out. Ray saying, give Erik Ten Hag more time and he will be another Fergie. Well, listen, I don't know about another Fergie. I don't think we'll ever see another Fergie. But I think Erik Ten Hag, given more time, I think he could definitely, like I said, he can build something very solid. He can build something very strong. And he can build something at Manchester United that Manchester United hasn't really had, which I will say the key word is stability. Stability. I think Erik Ten Hag can finally bring stability to this Manchester United club. But he needs to be given the time and he needs to be given the opportunity. And, I'm completely against him going. Two seasons is not enough. And we've already made some progress here. So I think, he needs to stay. He needs to stay. And if INEOS choose to go the opposite way, then in my opinion, it will be the wrong decision. And I know the fans won't be happy about it because a lot of people, the majority of the fan base, are still backing Erik Ten Hag. They still want Erik Ten Hag at this club. Regardless of the noise, the minority is usually the louder ones because they are the ones that are more, I don't know how to say it. They're a little bit just more crazy. They go crazy. They go crazy. And the ones with the level head on them were a little bit more quiet, but we're usually the majority because we stay calm and we stay composed and we know what's right and what's wrong and what the facts are and and we can analyze things and make a level-headed decision. So while sometimes it does seem like maybe the majority has shifted, it has not. The majority want Erik Ten Hag in here. Rajat saying, did Avram take 350k to make it to another final? What do you mean by that? Oh, like, you mean the flight? Probably. Did he put he put the flight and the, and all that on the club? I mean, yeah, probably. I know we don't like it because they're scumbags and they've taken so much money from our club, but at the same time, if it wasn't them and it was a good owner and if it was somebody that like didn't take $1 billion out of the club, that wouldn't necessarily be a problem because they usually all do that, right? It's like a business expense. But yeah, they probably did. There's no way that he used his own money for that, for sure. Axelord saying Erik Ten Hag told the reporter he doesn't know football after being asked if 8th place and negative score is the standard. He told the press they don't know football because they disregard the injuries and all. Yes, that was from the interview that he did with the Dutch outlet, which I absolutely loved. Like, if people don't pay attention to the minor, small details, but Erik Ten Hag is playing chess here. He does not play checkers. He plays chess. He went to a Dutch outlet and gave them probably the greatest exclusive from a Manchester United manager in the most recent years. He doesn't give shit to the British media. He gives them, what I like to call PR standard responses. He doesn't give them anything. He doesn't give them exclusives. He doesn't try to give them headlines. He gives them pretty basic and boring answers for the most part. And he went there and he gave an exclusive that these guys in the English media would have stabbed somebody for. They would have killed somebody for that because that was absolutely huge. And he did that on purpose. And he came out and he was very direct and straightforward, and he, as some people would say, he told the absolute truth. Which he usually doesn't do to the British media, and he did that for a reason, because he feels like they don't deserve it with the way they treat him, and I absolutely 100% agree. And that's why I'm happy he came out and he said all those things. He absolutely should absolutely, what he did was the correct decision, in my opinion. They They said, Rajat saying, when asked, Ten Hag said, if they don't want me here, I will win trophies elsewhere. That's what I do. Dang, I mean, listen, it's true. Listen, so far he's won trophies, no matter where he was. He's done it at Ajax. He's done it at United. United haven't won so many trophies in the recent years. He's won 2 in 2 years. I don't know what more you really want. Yeah, the league position isn't great, but we've had injuries. Look at Liverpool. Liverpool's league position wasn't great last season either. What did they have? A bunch of injuries. What happened next season? They didn't have as many injuries. Look at how Liverpool performed. They were, in a title race for a good part of the season. I mean, it's ridiculous, and this is what I'm saying. Like, it is to the point that if they get rid of him, it will be the wrong decision, and I think they will regret it. I think they will absolutely regret it. I think the club will end up regretting it. In terms of that, we will watch him go somewhere else. He's not one of these guys. He's not one of these guys that's gonna get sacked or end up leaving, and he's not gonna not have a job. There will be a club out there, a top club, and they will be willing to take him on. So I think it will be a mistake. Absolutely. Ray saying, smash the like button, love it. Thank you. It's about United controlling City. Lyle saying, probably passed out from the Stellars. Well, I got one here for him. But yeah, he's probably, I think he might have said that he was going out, though, if I remember correctly. Richard was saying that he was going out to watch the game. He was watching it at a pub or something. So he probably won't make it here, but we'll talk to him on the next one. You know what I mean? Because he's probably gone right now. He probably doesn't even know what pub he's in anymore. As long as he stays safe and he's all right, that's all that matters, and he enjoys himself. That's the best. That's the thing, 2-1, both Manchester United final ended. Yes, they did. Obviously we lost one and then we won one, right? So, 3 finals, 2 cups, Klopp, 3 Champions League finals, 1 cup. I mean, yeah, if he's in a pub, then it's safe to say he's passed out. Listen, he'll be all right. He's an experienced man. He's been through it all before, I'm sure he can handle himself. Let's get on to a couple more things. Ten Hag saying 2 trophies in 2 seasons and 3 finals, not bad. If they don't want me anymore, I'll go somewhere else and win trophies. That's what I do. Just like I think Rajat said that. Yeah, Rajat said that. Just like Rajat said that. I just read that off from Fabrizio Romano right here. The Mirror, 2 minutes ago, still putting out the story. 2 minutes ago, saying Thomas Tuchel believes he will be the next manager of Manchester United. I mean, but this is why I feel like it's a bunch of fucking nonsense, because They were so heavy on McKenna. Now they're saying, Thomas Tuchel believes he's going to be the next manager. Where are we getting these stories from? But I'm trying to find the Sir Jim Ratcliffe thing, because he was asked some questions and I want to see what he said, because I didn't actually see what he said. But, the timeline on Twitter right now is absolutely just all over the place. So it's going to be difficult. But, strong statement from Erik Ten Hag again. And absolutely, I agree with him. just statements of facts. Just statements of facts. Listen, if they don't want him, they don't want him. The fans want him. He wants the club. I'm sure a large portion, a large good amount of those players, they want him. If they decide that they don't want him, so be it. And they're not going to help themselves in any situation, because I could already tell you what's going to happen is that if he does go, the Manchester United fans will continue to support him wherever he goes. And they will make it known every which step of the way, that INEOS made a grave mistake and that they should have kept him, and it will backfire on INEOS. So, and I'm not happy about this either, because that means that whatever INEOS is gonna do will probably not go well, and I wanted it to go well, because these guys are supposed to at least take over from the Glazers' shitty reign, and they were supposed to make something into a more positive thing. And it looks like they want to start with the wrong decision and a negative thing. So it's not good for the club in either aspect. It's not, unfortunately. Let me see if I could find this Sir Jim Ratcliffe thing, because he has spoken, and I think it is important to. So, did he speak? Sir Alex Ferguson saying Manchester United win was fantastic. I think Sir Jim ignored. I think Sir Jim ignored it. So they asked Sir Jim Ratcliffe, when asked if Eric Ten Hag is staying. He didn't actually say something. He ignored the reporter, or the journalist. He turned around, looked at him. Sir David Brailsford told him to keep moving. So he didn't actually make an actual statement. Which is not what I originally heard, but he didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. So it's not as big. It's not as big as, because I heard that he made a statement that didn't really sound too convincing of a backing, but he didn't say anything at all. So that doesn't mean anything. And I mean, you could read it both ways. You could say, yeah, well, he could have went there and made a statement and said he's staying. But he didn't say anything. So, Pochettino without Palmer is mediocre. Ray saying I will follow Eric Ten Hag and support him all the way. Even if he goes to City. Lionheart's joking. Lyle saying Sky Sports asked Pep, was Manchester United the better team today? He said no and left it at that. Wow, salty much. Yeah. I saw that. I saw that, and I heard exactly what he had to say, and I fully expected him to say that anyway. I fully expected him to say that. In Guardiola's eyes, in Guardiola's philosophy and idea of football, right? He likes to have the possession. He likes to control the game. He likes to dictate the tempo of the match. So, to be a little bit fair to him, I always knew he was going to say that because he thinks that they dominated. Obviously, he's missing the point of, we know that you were going to dominate. It's what you're fucking good at. We'd let you do it. And you weren't the better team because you couldn't break us down. Our game plan was to be compact. Our game plan was to frustrate you. Our game plan was to not let you play your usual football. That was our game plan. We did it, and we won. And we won. So therefore, today, we were the better team. I don't really give a shit what he thinks at the end of the day. You look at the scoreline and you see who's holding the trophy today. And it's not him, and it's not his team. So, he was always gonna be like that. And he is a sore loser. Pep is very much a sore loser. He always is. He's not really used to it, right? I see a lot of discourse going on here already. people already saying if they sack Ten Hag for Tuchel, INEOS out. So it's already starting. Um, and you know, I listen. I don't want them to do it. I really don't want them to do it. And you know what? It's kind of dampening my mood on this shit because we can't fully celebrate this because there's like an elephant in the room. It's like dampening the mood because it's like this guy just pulled off a fantastic win after the shit season that we had. Nobody gave us a chance. He did something absolutely fantastic, and you're gonna reward him by that by fucking getting rid of this guy when when the majority of the fan base doesn't agree and doesn't want that. It's not something we want. So, you know, as much as I've been trying to give leeway to INEOS and Sir Jim Ratcliffe, I will have to say again, when they came to this club and when they were trying to win the club and when they were trying to win the bidding war, they said that they were going to communicate with the fans better. They have not done that so far. They said that they would listen to the fans more. They don't seem like they're doing that right now. You know, and it's just a shitty situation. You know, I just don't agree with this. I don't. I don't think the guy is as bad as he's been made out to be by some people, and I think there's something there. And you know, I disagree with the fact that we're gonna throw that away for something that we have absolutely no idea how the hell it's gonna go. You know, with 2 years into a project, we could go 3 years into a project, and the project could be accelerated, and the project can change. And INEOS just seem intent on ripping that shit up and starting completely fresh from brand new. And I still don't think that might be the best option because we've made a certain amount of progress in certain areas, and then you're gonna rip it all apart to go backwards and start from square one. You know, and that might do more harm than good. It might do good more than harm, but I certainly feel like right now it would do more harm. You know, there's a certain thing that like it just doesn't seem right. And that's my gut feeling. That is my gut feeling. That is my instinct telling me that it does not feel right to go down the path that they are choosing to go. I don't know what their fucking gut is telling them. I don't know if they're listening to their gut. But certainly for me, it does not feel like that. Ray saying, give you 2 cups in 2 years in European football is good for me. I mean, Eric Ten Hag made the statement in the interview. He said, basically, I'm paraphrasing, but he was like, these people think that, you know, Manchester United are the club are at the point where we should be challenging for the Premier League or whatever. And he was like, we're absolutely not. And I think that led to the indication of why he changed his tune from when he came in from the first season to this season, is because he realized that, like, while this is a big club and this club should be, you know, challenging for every trophy, and this club has the standards and the performances are demanded, and you know, everybody wants us to win every game. On the inside, he's realized, well, this fucking club is actually really behind in a lot of areas. And we are not ready for that. We are not ready for that. We have to build to it. And I think that's why he changed the tune of, you know, from him saying we want to win every trophy and all that to he toned it down this season. And I think it's because he realized how far behind the operations is at the club. You know, I think he went there with a certain expectations of this is Manchester United. Again, these people that are inside of the football bubble, they tend to not pay too much attention to what the fans or just people in general, football fans say in general. They don't pay attention to too much of reports. You know, they consider them, a lot of them, rumors. So while there might be some negative things about Manchester United, they don't really believe it until they get there to experience it. And see it for themselves. I think there's been a couple examples like that. I think Cristiano Ronaldo was one of them. I think Cristiano Ronaldo was shocked. I'm sure they speak and people talk, and, you know, I'm sure Ronaldo heard some things. But Ronaldo, when he walked in there and he saw that the fucking training center, you know, the same gym equipment was still there from when he was there, when he left. I think he then realized, you know, that this wasn't bullshit that was being made up. These are not rumors. This is the truth. But they see it for their eyes, and then they realize, like, this is statements of facts. Ray's saying they have to give credit to United the way they play, and they didn't City play. We frustrated City and was score, and we got the win. Yeah, and another thing that bothers the shit out of me is just the sole fact of, if Onana made the mistake that Ortega made for the first goal that Garnacho scored, they would have executed that man on the pitch. They would have executed him on the pitch. That mistake that they made, they won't even fucking talk about it. It won't even be mentioned. It won't even be mentioned. If Onana made that mistake, that fucking clip would be all over the place. They would play it on Sky Sports 72 fucking times. It's just, it's the stark difference in biasness is so evident. Even Helen Keller could see it. But, Lion saying, I honestly can't see Eric Ten Hag getting the sack. Surely it would cause a shit stir. Well, listen, for me and you, we would say that because I think we're level-headed people. And I think we would give the guy the benefit of the doubt because we've followed the club for many years. We know problems. Obviously, we don't know the inside problems per se, down to the total detail. But also, we're not in charge. These guys, they could be arrogant. They could be arrogant as fuck. They could be sitting there, kind of the same as the Glazers or whoever they put in charge, or whoever the Glazers put in charge at the time. And they basically, remember when they called the fans hysterical? They said the fans are hysterical. It could be the same attitude. They could be like, these fucking people don't know anything. We know best. We are in charge, and we are going to make the decision we want, and fuck them. They can absolutely do that. And that's why I'm saying it would be a totally wrong decision, and they're going to have to reap what they sow from the decision that they make. I would not make that decision. Lions wouldn't make that decision. Axe Lord wouldn't make that decision. Ray wouldn't make that decision. Richard probably wouldn't make that decision. I think Rajat wouldn't make that decision either. I think everybody in here wouldn't make that decision. Nobody would get rid of him. Just these guys. And listen, let them play their cards. Let them show who they are. And the fans will show, what we're about. They want to come out, they want to put out PR and this and that. Well, they're going to find out real quick what happens when you don't listen to the fans. And, you just disregard our opinions and you don't respect us. They will find out, Lionheart saying, mate, Foden and the Viking were close. The Viking. I thought that was a female. Viking? I thought that was a woman running around on the pitch. I said, what are we doing? Co-ed football now? You see his hair? Go get a haircut, bruv. Go get a haircut. What are we doing? His hair, he looks like a woman out there on the pitch. The Viking. And Foden, absolutely. Foden was quiet. I called him, I have a City fan that kept sending me pictures throughout the season, and they kept saying, what's his middle name? Philip what? Yeah, I'll tell you in a second. Philip, he would, every time, Foden said something, he'd send me a picture, and he'd say, Philip Walter Foden. So I sent him a picture of Kobe Mainu and Garnacho, and I said, Philip, I told him, Philip Fraudin, F-A-R-U-D-I-N, Philip Walter Fraudin. That's what I sent him, because he deserves it. Absolutely. I don't even respect the guy, to be honest. He's one of those guys that, he was not a City fan before they were bought from Saudi Arabia. So, a lot of chats going in here. I'm going to try and catch up. Rajat saying, no, the manager will do that well. Yeah, I mean, right now I don't see it. Right now, with the current candidates that are out there, I don't see anybody that's really gonna do any much better. That, if we get to that point, they're gonna be like, "Oh, it was 100% the right decision." I don't see it. I think what will happen is probably usually the same old story of they'll get this manager in. Probably the first season will be all right. Will be good. In the second season, we'll probably dip down. And will be concerns. Um, Axel was saying, I love the club, but INEOS out, the leaks and the uncertainty created recently, an absolute shame. Um, Lion saying, Axel saying, McKenna is too much of a risk. McKenna is a huge risk, an absolutely huge risk. And if they take this risk, they are it changes my opinion of these guys. Like, they are absolutely foolish if they do this. It is the most monumental risk you could probably take at this moment in time. He is completely unproven. He has never managed a game in the Premier League. No, there's no saying what the hell can happen. Like, if they're worried because we finished 8th with 70 injuries, we could finish fucking 10th. We could get knocked out of the Europa League group. Well, there is no more group stage, right? But we could not make it to the next round. Like, there's all sorts of implications. The players could fucking not respect this guy, completely down tools, and basically tell him to piss off. It is way too big of a risk. And this is what I'm saying. It can backfire or it can work, but it probably won't help much. I mean, yeah, you're correct in that, Rajat, 100%. It can backfire, or it can work. But the problem is that if you're taking into account, like, probability wise, it's more in favor of it to not work out. Like, when there's certain people out there that they take what are called calculated risks. They look at the options, they weigh them up, and there's a certain percentage of what is the outcome of this risk that I take. And you should always take the best calculated risk you can that gives you the best possible percentage of a positive outcome. If they go down that path, in my opinion, that is a bad calculated risk, because the odds for it failing are much higher than it succeeding. Lion saying, Jesus, they need this at shit easier. Yeah, I know. It should just auto pop up. There's a platform called Twitch, if you guys are not familiar with it, where you can watch, well, you can watch a couple different things, but mainly it's for people playing video games, and you can watch people play video games and stuff. And that's much easier. You type in the and, like, as soon as you type in a couple letters, their name literally pops up and you just click on it and it sends it directly to them. I don't know. YouTube's got to get on that. Lyle's saying Pep got it so wrong to leave him on the bench, but Aaron Wan-Bissaka had his number for most parts of his cameo. Yeah, you're talking about, I call him no end product, but he scored today. So I don't know if I could really call him that. But Jeremy Doku, yeah, I've been calling him no end product for quite some time, because he's got tons of speed, he's good dribbler, but a lot of the times the ball that goes into the box, not very good. The shots that he took, not very good. He did score, shouldn't have scored, because Onana should have saved it, right? So it shouldn't have been a goal. Onana should have definitely saved that, and he did mess up. So But yeah, that's what I call him. My nickname for him is no end product. Axel is saying, if they believe the team had an attitude problem, just consider the game today. Good mentality, fighting spirit, composure, and everything you want. And yes, they had all of that today. My problem is with that is why, and this is where I'm gonna say, see, this is why Alan Shearer is an idiot, because he's not as specific as that, right? And he makes it seem like he was talking more of, I guess, like the style of play or whatever, or just like the performance. But it's not about that. It's about having all of those things on a consistent basis. And some of these players, they just cannot seem to do it on a consistent basis throughout the season. They can do it in a match like this. They could do it in big matches. But but there's some of them that cannot provide that good mentality, that fighting spirit, that composure, and everything you want on a consistent basis throughout the season. And we need that. We need that because that's how you win the Premier League at the end of the day. You have to do it from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. So there are players in there that absolutely have and absolutely do, and there's some that they just cannot consistently do it over a course of a season. Um, Sandy is in here. Sandy, good to see you. He's having some wine. Have some wine. I hope you're eating too. Uh, Juiced, Juiced Go saying, why is your nose so red? You remind me of Sir Alex Ferguson. Well, number one, um, it's probably the camera, the lighting, right? It's not actually this red in real life. But also it's a little bit hot down here, so that might be helping. But yeah, it's I'm not this skin color per se. This is probably the closest you could get to it, right? But it's I got lights here, so it's just the camera effect. But if you see me in person, I'm not this red. It's just exemplified by the camera. Uh Lion saying, "Oh shit, I've turned into Richard." Axelord saying, "Yeah, I like. Wow, you guys are chatting a lot. I'm far behind you." Um, Ray saying Eric Ten Hag game plan was perfect today. I could just read you guys off here. I don't know what I'm doing here. Um, Juice, what language are you speaking? What language are you guys speaking now? I don't know what this is. Are you speaking? Is that German? Is that Dutch? I can't read this. I don't know what you guys are saying. Somebody translate to me. That's Dutch. Unknown to him, I speak Dutch. Oh wait, you speak Dutch? When do you speak Dutch? We need translators in here. Lyle saying wanted to see Ahmad because he helped so much against Liverpool. Yeah, that was kind of a sad thing. I felt like Ahmad definitely deserved some minutes. I wish he did get some minutes. Um, but listen, next season, big opportunity for him, right? He helped us get there. He did what he did, and he just needs to keep fighting, and he needs to keep he just needs to keep doing what he's doing. When he gets his opportunities, you come on, and like he's done, he's taken his opportunities. I understand why. I was hoping he would get on there, but I always kind of felt that he wasn't really gonna get on there. Um, Especially at the end, because I just felt like we needed to shore it up, and I just always felt like from Ten Hag, all the changes that Guardiola made, Ten Hag seems like one of those guys that, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I kind of figured that a lot of changes weren't going to come. Obviously, you had to put Johnny Evans in there because Martinez couldn't continue for 90 minutes. He was always going to get subbed off anyway. Um, and it it is what it is, but he can walk away and be proud that he helped the team. Listen, he played his part. Just like in the past, there was times like obviously Solskjaer had a bigger part to play in the '99, but there's times and periods. I mean, look at Roy Keane and Paul Scholes. They didn't get to play in the Champions League final, in '99 when we won the treble because they were booked out of the game. But without them, the whole season, or the matches that they played a pivotal role in that. And if it wasn't for them, the team wouldn't have gotten where they were. And obviously, they were disappointed to not be a part and step onto the pitch, but they still get the credit for it. They still, were a part of that process. And Diallo can hold his head on that as well. He was definitely part of it, and he definitely played a big role, especially that big goal he scored against Liverpool. Um, Lyle saying I don't speak Dutch, by the way. Haha, Google Translate. Yeah. Lions is Scottish. Oh, okay. He's Scottish, but you so happen to speak Dutch. Very nice. Very nice. Multiple languages. I only know how to speak like two, so but it's better than one. Lala is saying smash the like button. Yes, please, people, smash the like button for me if you're enjoying this content. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I greatly appreciate it, and we would welcome you into this lovely community. As you could see, we're going to be doing transfer updates now that the season is over. Very good discussions as always. So, if you want to be a part of the community, go ahead and join right in, and we will accept you. It doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. That's what this channel is for. Sandy saying, have given Paper Guardiola a red card. Yeah, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that emoji from? That's a great. What? We need that. How'd you do that? I don't even know how you do that, but I like that. I've given Paper Guardiola a red card. They don't know how Manchester United is. We are a deadly animal, and we have managed to beat City. Now I'm eating. Good. I'm so glad that you're eating, Sandy. I'm glad for that, and you're absolutely correct. And I love that you've given Guardiola a red card. Fantastic. Not only because it's a red card, so he's kicked out, but also red for Manchester as well. Lyle's saying we should wrap Martinez in bubble wrap until next season. Leave him out of preseason too. Yeah. This is my alt account. I can leave you a sub. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, that's good. Where are you guys getting this red card emoji thing from? Where is that? Where do you get that from? I need this. I need this. This is why we need the super chat and the stickers. We need to get that. We need to get this for the chat because it'll just make it so much more lovely. Like, we'll have stickers. We'll have all types of things you guys could throw into the chat. We'll create some good ones. And that's what we're working on now. That's what we're gonna work on for the future of this YouTube emojis. Oh, okay. I'm in the I'm in the OBS thing reading the chat, so I'm not in the YouTube thing, so I don't actually get access to that. But yeah, okay, that's good to know. Yeah, but hopefully we get to the point where we can create custom stuff. Let me keep an eye on the news because I still have a feeling that we are gonna get some stuff at some point. Sir Alex Ferguson was absolutely ecstatic. I think, at the same time, I'm going to speak on Marcus Rashford a little bit. I don't think he had the, per se, best of games. I thought he made very good runs. He was definitely threatening. He was definitely out there fighting. Pushing hard, doing his job like we all want him to see, and we want to see him do this all season. I was a little bit disappointed with his first touches after making the runs in, right? That certainly let him down, and I just wish that he was able to kind of get those under control because he was getting himself into very, very good positions, making very, very good runs, and he was looking threatening. But that first touch today really let him down, and it's kind of been the story for him all season. But he did cry after the match, winning. Obviously, this club does mean a lot to him. To win the trophy, it does mean a lot to him. I don't think when he doesn't perform well, I do think he is one of these people that, unfortunately, there are just some people that they whatever goes on in their personal life or whatever goes on behind the scenes, it sometimes it does carry over to them. I mean, just in a general life, there are some people that they have problems at home, whether it's with a spouse or whatever. And they go into their job, a regular job, an office job, whatever job you have, they go in there, and they do their job, and they don't let it, leak over into the workplace and kind of affect them. They do a good job at separating things. But then there are other people that, it really hits them pretty hard, and they can't seem to shake that, and they do go into work, and their work does suffer because of what's going on, because it's it gets stuck in their head, and it's hard to separate that stuff. And I fully believe Marcus Rashford seems like one of those people that I fully believe he has a lot of issues going on. Behind the scenes, it's not just at Manchester United. It's not just that he wasn't playing good. I think he's had, I'm pretty sure he's had a one or two people close to him that passed away, this season. I think there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that we don't really see in his personal life that have been affecting him negatively, and I think that's kind of spilled more over onto the pitch. Um, so but hopefully he gets his head right. Hopefully he takes his time off this summer. Obviously he won't be involved in the Euros, which I still will say I think is a positive, absolutely. Um and I think he just needs to look after himself, take care of himself, and see where we go. Who's in here? Brian Foskett, United. Brian, good to see you. Hope you're enjoying the win like the rest of us. GGMU, absolutely, Brian. If I pronounce your last name wrong, I'm sorry. I do suck with names, but yeah, Ray saying Rashford in tears at Wembley. Yeah, he was. I mean, it's his boyhood club. He loves this club. Whatever people want to say, I really do think he's just one of those people that, he lets stuff affect him, and it spills onto the pitch. And if he can figure out how to stop that from happening, and be a little bit more stronger mentally, I guess, then that's what we need, because a strong Marcus Rashford is a good Marcus Rashford for Manchester United, and a good Marcus Rashford is good for Manchester United. That's the end of the story. Axe Lord saying that second goal, top class, tiki taka, served to Guardiola with gusto. Yeah. And I seen somebody, I forgot who it was, I think it was Paul Scholes. Paul Scholes actually put up a picture on his Instagram of Amrabat and said that Amrabat delivered a prime. He said he delivered a performance of like he was prime Gattuso. So Scholes bigging up Amrabat there. I think Amrabat was fantastic. I think Amrabat did absolutely great. He was there. Yeah, I seen the picture of with him in tears. I seen it. So Axel saying, yeah, Rashford should have married that girl. Well, that's what I'm saying. There's been a couple things that have gone on in his personal life. And I still think they're kind of, as far as I know, that they kind of back together. But for a while, they were separated. It started, when we went on the USA tour, really, and you kind of seen him acting out a little bit more from that point out. And I think they're talking again. I think they're like kind of back together, but they were supposed to get married. They were engaged. I don't think they've gone back to exactly that step, but I think they are still in each other's lives. So there's been multiple things, and I think at the end of the day, we are human, right? So, and these footballers are human. Emotions in football give me life. Yeah. It's a great sport. It's a sport with a lot of emotion, a lot of passion, and that's why we love it, and that's why we love this club. Um, there's nothing really like it. There's nothing really like it. Sandy is saying, guys, very happy for what we have done last season with Carabao Cup. This season we have managed the FA Cup. If you are not the supporter for Manchester United, then you don't know what. Yeah, yeah. I mean, technically, it's still type of progress. I mean, okay, the progress in the league maybe is not there, right? Obviously because of all the injuries and shit. But we did start with the Carabao Cup, which you would argue is the smaller cup. We've now moved on to the FA Cup, which is bigger than the Carabao Cup, and now we got to look forward to a bigger cup, which you would say, if we're taking baby steps here, we are in Europa League, so maybe we could get the Europa League. And obviously we gotta try and be in that top four race. Again, and then take a step forward from that. Um, No, I don't think Rashford's leaving line. I don't think so. Um, yeah, we miss Richard today, but we're here celebrating it for Richard, and Richard will be back, and then we could talk to Richard. Um, we could talk to Richard when he makes it for the next one. Brian saying, after the season us fans have put up with, we all deserve this moment. United for life. Absolutely, Brian. Absolutely. Um, and that's what I want to shout out. You know, everybody here watching, everybody that's tuned in, everybody that's a subscriber, all the United fans, just across the world. You know, whether you can go to United games in Old Trafford, or not. You know, we've put up with a very hard, long season. Um, Obviously, you know, when we're disappointed, when we're angry with the performances, um, you know, we are rightfully so, but you know, we never stop supporting this club, and we never stop loving this club. And when the next match rolls around, we're right ready for it, and we go there and we support our club like we should. And our fans are absolutely fantastic around the world. We have, in my opinion, the best fans, the best support. You know, there's so many fans that do incredible things to support the club, whether traveling to every away match, or you know, there was a fan that he came from somewhere in Southeast Asia. He traveled all the way on a bike to go to Old Trafford. I mean, that's absolutely insane. You know, and that's why. And you only see these stories with United, so it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Um, Lion saying Lion saying Amrabat was great, but please let him go back to Fiorentina, and I mean that with all respect. Lyle saying before he had a brilliant season, he had a lot of off the pitch things going on. So this season too, next season, hopefully he will be back with a bang, unless he is sold. Well, I don't think he's gonna get sold unless somebody comes with a really big offer. But I don't think they're gonna put in that offer. He's on a lot of wages, and honestly, I think the time off and not going to the Euros, I think will do him good. I expect the Marcus Rashford to come back stronger. I expect to see a better Marcus Rashford going into next season. And whether he wants it or not, you know, sometimes these things happen for a reason. And I think he will. I think this time not playing in the Euros is good. You know, I've heard a lot of different players from different sports talk about, you know, there's some players that the sport they play is all they know. It's their entire life. They don't really know what to do with themselves if they're not playing in the sport. Um, and I've heard players speak about how, like, you know, they've had teammates where their teammates do take these breaks. They do have things that they can do, you know, after the season, or when the season's not in there, to kind of take their mind off of it a little bit, take a break from it, and then you know, you come back rejuvenated, you come back fresh, you come back ready to go, you come back better. Sometimes you just need to take a step away from something, collect yourself, and come back ready to go. You know, nobody's saying he has to quit. Nobody's saying, you know, it's over with. You take your break and you come back ready to go. You know, um, Sandy saying next season we are going to get the EPL League data this season. We are going to get the UEFA Champions League. We're not in the Champions League. Oh, you mean like qualify for the Champions League? Well, yeah, I hope we do. Obviously we have to see what happens in the He said I can see our vision where we are going if you don't believe me. All right, Sandy's got the vision. I'm gonna trust in you, Sandy. Um Listen, we got to see how the summer goes. Of course, that's gonna play a big role, a big, pivotal moment, and also we need to see what the hell is happening with our manager, as well. Brian saying Chelsea now in Conference League and Newcastle out of Europe. LOL. Yeah, that's like icing on the cake. It's like, or the cherry on top. Um, you know, yeah, good for Chelsea. Congratulations, Chelsea, and definitely congratulations for Newcastle because they want to talk about they're really united. You know, they're Newcastle is completely out of their mind. They've lost it because they've gotten all that money now and they can't even use it. So, I don't know where their heads are gone, but every time they do these things, they keep embarrassing themselves. They were celebrating they finished above us for the first time. Trying to say now when you say United, you're talking about Newcastle, not Manchester. Well, guess what? You finished above us and you still didn't even make it into Europe. So, you know, absolutely hilarious on that part. Um oh, he said I'm not gonna tell you my surname. Well, I will do player ratings because we didn't do them yet, so I'm gonna do them in a second. I'm just checking the news real quick to make sure that we don't got anything. Varane has made a statement. Obviously, this was Varane's last match for Manchester United ever. Um, so I do want to wish him well. He has been absolutely fantastic today. He's been fantastic since he came to this club. He loves this club. It's sad to see him go. A lot of people are arguing that we should keep him. I would keep him. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. And probably another decision that's going to go in terms of opinion against INEOS by the fan base. I think a lot of people in the fan base want him to stay, and they've made this decision, which is why I'm still kind of worried about Eric Ten Hag because um, they seem like set on making decisions that are against the populace, and they don't really seem to care. But Varane has said all trophies are special, but this one, the fact of having really fought to create a collective dynamic, we really exchanged in recent days. We built a plan with the coach and we succeeded to apply it. Very happy. Um, yeah, Alan Shearer and Gary Lineker are a bunch of as the British would say, they're a bunch of prats. They're a bunch of morons, bunch of idiots. I mean, the line of questioning you ask this man, um, but is disrespectful wrong. Um, he just won an FA Cup. And you want to ambush him live on BBC Sport, and might as well say, fuck BBC as well. I seen what they do to certain people out there. Um, yeah, I don't like them too much either. Varane also going on to say it was my last match with Manchester United. I had to fight to come back from injury. I did it for my teammates, for the fans, and I'm very happy about it. I arrived on time to be able to help them. We didn't give up. It's just happiness, and I'm very very happy for Raphael Varane. He deserved it. And it was definitely certainly like the last dance for Lisandro and Raphael Varane as a center back partnership. And it was the last dance for a couple other players. Martial didn't feature, wasn't there, so unfortunately, he's gone too. Um, but a lot of these players, it was their last time playing for this club. Varane also went on to say, I leave with a heavy heart because I met a lot of great people. I lived in this culture, which I really liked. It was an exceptional experience. When you love football, you have to love English football. It was with pleasure. Well, thank you, Raphael Varane, for your service to this club and being a fantastic player. And just coming here and just loving Manchester United. And putting those performances on the pitch when you put on that shirt every time. So absolute respect to him. Legend for me. As a player, his career is legendary. And I'm glad he was a part. I'm glad Manchester United is a part of his career. For the history books. His history books. Let me see. We got nothing. Um, Yeah. I'm sure there will be something that's gonna pop up. Let me see. Player ratings. Where are they? Let me pull them up. So player ratings. Um Listen, Onana. I'll give him a 6.5. Onana, because um I thought he was great, but that one mistake, I can't give him a 7. He had to save that. He put the win in jeopardy. But overall, I think he did good. There was a large periods of the game where he didn't even have much to do. But when he did have to do something, he was alert. He was focused, and he did his job up until that one split second. So, I think Onana deserves a 6.5 for that. Um, certainly. Um, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I thought Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I give him a 7. He struggled a little bit here at times when Doku came on, but I think he still did good. Because Doku is a very tricky player. Doku, is very fast. Very good dribbler. And I think they did good. There was a couple times he did get beat, but I think Wan-Bissaka was he did his job today. He got in on the ball when he needed to. He wasn't pulling out of position. He played where he needed to play. Um, Diego Dalot, I thought Diego Dalot was very excellent. I thought he pocketed Bernardo Silva. For me, Diego Dalot, I give him a 7.5 for today. I think Diego Dalot was totally shut down Bernardo Silva and whoever else was coming up on that wing. I think Diego Dalot did absolutely fantastic. And for me, Diego Dalot would probably be definitely in contention for player of the season for Manchester United if it isn't him. I would say Kobe Mainu might be in there as well, because Kobe just seems to play absolutely fantastic in every match that he plays. So Lisandro Martinez, the Butcher, give him a 7.5. The Butcher was great. Um, well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would have gave Onana a 7. Um, I just think that I think that mistake, you got to drop the score for me. But Onana did make those fantastic saves. You know, so um, or Lisandro Martinez, I give him a 7.5. Lisandro, fantastic. Did great job. It was so good to see the Butcher back in there. You saw why he was important. You saw what we've been missing this whole season. You just don't get what Lisandro Martinez gives you. Um, when he's not there. There is no player to replace a Lisandro Martinez. When we lose a Lisandro Martinez, there's nobody that does the things that he does. And it's the little things. It's when he has the ball in his feet. It's when the ball is sort of around the danger area, the box, him getting a foot on that ball, him clearing it, him doing, something that other center backs just would not do. And he is very important. And not only that, but he is a leader. He is a warrior. And he just instills a different type of mentality into that team when he is on the pitch. And you can see it every time, the big difference when he's there and when he's not there. You can see it. Look up Martinez in the dictionary. It just says calm. Um, yeah. Make United great again. Yeah. Axlo says no. Yeah, no politics. No politics today. No politics. No politics. We're here with football. Football doesn't mix with politics. We're not gonna mix the politics in. Um, Raphael Varane, I give him a 7.5 as well. Um, they were equally just as good. Varane, very important, winning basically every aerial duel, getting his head to the ball first. Was super solid back there. I think the whole team generally, is getting a very, very good score. You know what I mean? As a whole, they played as a whole good, as a unit good. Um, so, for me, definitely Bruno, I give him another 7.5. I think Bruno, was great. Got the assist. Uh, Captain's performance. It's a little bit hard to judge because we didn't have most of the possession. So like, but I don't think, Bruno wasn't bad. Bruno was good when we had our opportunities. It was just that we just didn't have the ball as much, so you seen less of our attacking players. But Bruno, creating that chance for Manu, he's got an assist. And when he was on the ball, and when we did have the ball, I thought Bruno was fantastic again. Um, Kobe Manu, for me, I'm gonna give Kobe Manu 8.5 today. I think Kobe Manu was just absolute class. And Kobe Manu is my man in the match for the match today. The kid to be that age, to come into a match of this magnitude, and to just play the way he played, scoring a goal, you know, just brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant. So again, like, this kid is something special. Um, and I'm so happy that we have him. Because he's going to be an important part of this future, and Manchester United have to make sure that they protect this kid at all costs, because we've seen things happen to our youth again. Exactly, Lyle. Manu plays like he's been doing this for years, and that's what really, like, that's what mesmerizes me about it. It's like he is, like, experienced, like, 5 7 years, and he's not, but he plays like it, and it's crazy. You know what I mean? It is absolutely crazy. Um, that's what I love about him, is that he does play like that. Yeah, yeah, he's not. He's 19 years old. I mean, he's still just a kid. He's a teenager technically. In some countries he can't even have a drink. You know. So and he's out there just doing what he's been doing, and he's been doing it pretty much all season. He's showed the composure. And that's why Mano is some sort of post goals godsend. Yeah, godsend. That's what I'm saying. Like, he is a gift from God, to come into this team at a time where I feel like we certainly needed somebody like him. We needed something. Amrabat, I'm gonna give Amrabat an 8. I think Amrabat was just absolutely solid. The man was a bulldozer. He was a wrecking ball. Um, he was a pit bull today. And I think he did fantastic. I think he was absolutely just, he did everything, and he did everything right. When he got on the ball, he made the right passes. He didn't lose possession. He didn't get caught out. Um, he, you know, bullied people in that midfield, and that's something that we've been missing for probably most of the season. And especially the last few weeks before he started actually starting. We were missing that. We were missing somebody in the midfield as good as Mano is. Um, we need that other guy there to be exactly what Amrabat is, the wrecking ball, the disruptor, they just be there and just knock people on their feet, take the ball away, be annoying, disrupt them, disrupt the build up in that midfield, and I think he absolutely did that absolutely perfectly today. And it is sort of a tough decision. I mean, I don't know. Like, he's got me second guessing if we should keep him or not, because the past couple displays he has shown this quality, and I don't know. And the problem with that is that he didn't really show it in the beginning of the season. So it's like, which one is the real Amrabat? You know what I mean? Are you gonna give us more of this? Because if he could give us more of this on a very consistent basis, I'm happy for him to stay. But if it's going to be an inconsistent thing, and then he's going to perform kind of like how he did earlier on in the season, then it probably wouldn't be the best decision. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It doesn't seem like he's going to. I feel like that decision has already kind of been made. But I guess everything's open till it's finally done, right? U-turns could always be made. I mean, at one time, Sir Alex Ferguson handed in his resignation, um, and then he rescinded it, and the rest is history, you know? So, Scott McTominay, Scott, I'm going to give, I'm trying to be nice to Scott here, but I got to give Scott a 6.5. I think Scott worked hard. I think Scott did good bits and pieces, getting his head to the ball, trying to fight for the ball, in the midfield, in around. But again, in that midfield position, he is just not the greatest. There was times where he lost the ball. There was times where he kind of lost his head a little bit and he dribbled too much. You know, there was certain aspects that I'm saying from a midfielder I like to see from a central midfielder. And he just doesn't show it. But again, as we've said and I've said, you can never question his commitment. You can never question his loyalty to the club. You can never question his drive. You can never question his attitude and his work rate for the club. But for me as a midfielder at Manchester United, your influence on the pitch has to be much better. But again, he never stops working hard. And I thought he fought valiantly today. And he did good enough. You know what I mean? He did good enough. So, um, you know, Garnacho, well, he scored, right? So, and I thought Garnacho played pretty well. Um, he also was involved in the main goal, so I would give Garnacho probably a 7.5. Garnacho was pretty gassed at the end too, and I think to be fair, Garnacho really hasn't had a rest in quite some time. So I feel like he was getting a bit fatigued at the end, and obviously he came off the pitch. But I think again, Garnacho just does Garnacho things. This is what we're seeing from these two kids. Like Manu comes on the pitch, does Manu things like every game, and Garnacho comes on the pitch and does Garnacho things. And Garnacho was playing on the right for Marcus Rashford. So Marcus Rashford can play on the left because that's what Marcus Rashford likes to play, and we all know Garnacho wants to play there. But Rashford being the more senior player, I guess, he gets that position, and I think Garnacho for playing on the right, which is the side that is less used, I guess you could say, from the team. I think Garnacho performed good today. You know what I mean? I think he performed good today. Um, Marcus Rashford, I gotta give Marcus a 6.5 as well. If I'm gonna be fair. Like I said before, I think Marcus. I think the effort was there. I think the desire was there. I think he made some very excellent runs in behind. I think he was putting 100% effort. He was tracking back. He was doing all these things. But again, that his first touch really let him down in key areas. And we needed him to get that down, and he just couldn't figure that out through the match. He had, at least off the top of my head right now, three or four different opportunities where the ball was kicked over the top, and that first touch just did him no favors, and he ended up losing the ball. He does get credit for starting the play for the Manu goal. I thought it was an excellent switch. Something that you haven't seen too much of him usually do, but yeah, if he did more of that, I would be here for it, because I thought it was a brilliant switch, brilliant pass to Garnacho, and it started the whole attack. So, um, Rashford was good. The reason why I give him a 6.5 is because if I'm giving McTominay a 6.5 for similar reasons, it's a little bit more about the technicality and what they did with the ball. I'm not trying to be overly criticizing them. I thought Rashford had a pretty good game. It's just that I know Marcus Rashford can do better. And Marcus Rashford knows he could do better. And I know that those balls that went over to the top of him, at least one of them, he had to get a chance out of one of them. And that's why I'm saying he gets a 6.5, because those touches really let him down. And it let the team down a little bit because we could use those opportunities from Marcus Rashford. You know what I mean? Those turn into goal scoring opportunities. But otherwise, I think he did a pretty, good job overall. Everybody at 10, we beat City. I mean, yeah, we could do that too. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to be a little bit realistic here, as we always are. Johnny Evans, I give Johnny Evans even he got subbed in at the 73rd minute. 6.5 probably, a little bit above average. He came in, he did his job. He played for, what do we have, 15 plus 8, so some 20 odd something minutes. Johnny gets a 10. Yeah, I wouldn't be against that either. But Johnny's been solid all season. So I said a couple times I wish Johnny was a little bit younger. We could use with a Johnny Evans that's like this, but just a younger Johnny Evans. He's been solid all season. Definitely has surprised me. For sure. I didn't think his I didn't think for how solid he would be. I didn't think that he would show us this. I thought at the time, when we signed him, I'm like, obviously emergency backup and all that, but I was like, dude, this guy's gonna get burned. This guy's gonna be like, it's gonna turn into like a Lee Grant type of thing, like, where he's like basically just completely out of his depth. And like, I was wrong. Yeah, we would have been totally lost without him lying. 100%. And that's why he's one of the great surprises of this season, because I'm like, I didn't watch him play like at Leicester. And then I was just like, the guy is old. So I just figured that I was like, this isn't going to end well. You know what I mean? Especially with the way we were originally playing in the first season on Ten Hag with that high-ass line. Like, there's no way. I was like, we're going to get absolutely destroyed if this guy ever plays. I was picturing, like, him and Maguire. And lo and behold, him and Maguire were fantastic, too, this whole season. But, like, at the beginning, where we were coming back off of that other season, I'm like, oh, Jesus, like, this is going to be, And shout out to Harry Maguire, too. We didn't mention Harry Maguire, but obviously he couldn't make it for the final. He just couldn't get the fitness, which is a little bit disappointing for himself. I felt like he deserved to at least be part of the squad. He probably would have came on as well for Lisandro, probably ahead of Johnny Evans. And I think Maguire deserved to be a part of that. But again, football and life is one of those things that it's life's not fair. And unfortunately, he just couldn't get the fitness to make it. But obviously, being there and he celebrated with the team at least. So we'll see what happens with Maguire. But who else do we have left? Rasmus. Rasmus, again, he came on same time as Johnny Evans. I'd give Rasmus 6.5. I mean, for what Rasmus did in terms of when he came on and showing the strength and showing, holding the ball up. But at that point of the game, we were really playing a lot more defensively. So I don't want you guys to get this wrong. Like 6.5 is not a bad score. Six is average, and I'm giving them slightly a little bit over because of the amount of time they played and just what they were able to do in terms of on the pitch. But again, it's not like they're not getting a higher score because it's their fault. It's just more of the way we were playing, the way we were set up. We were obviously more defensive. You know what I mean? So I don't want to. I'm not trying to overshoot it in the hype. You know what I mean? I'm trying to stay realistic here. So, but I thought Rasmus was an important addition when he came on. He showed that strength. He bullied those center backs. He made a very, very important play at the end. Holding that ball up, taking on Julian Alvarez, getting him to foul him, just wasting the last couple, seconds on the clock to ensure the victory. So I thought Rasmus was good, and it was probably a little bit hard done by not getting the start, and maybe getting some more minutes. But listen, he scored 16 goals this season for Manchester United in his first season. He's got a bright future ahead of him at the club as well, and I think he can walk away with that, with his head held high, and walk and then focus into next season, and work on that. I think he'll be happy, and I think he'll be determined. Mason Mount came on in the 90th, and Lindelof came in the 90th. So I'm just gonna give them both sixes, because there wasn't much for them to do. They just went on there to shore it up. Only played a couple minutes, but they did their job when they were on the pitch. But otherwise, you can't really you know you can't really judge them too much. But those are our player ratings. What are you guys saying? Scott Carson got a new contract at City. Give Evans 2 years. Onana has to stop getting the other teams into the game. Yeah, well, hopefully that's something they could figure out. I don't know if they have to put him on like maybe a special like diet. Um, if that could help, where he could slim down, because I think his arms are a little bit beefy, right? Which is prohibiting his shot stopping down low. I think that's affecting him. So I don't know if that helps. I'm not an expert. But I'm sure there's some things that they could do to improve that, right? Um, the goal wasn't Onana's fault. No, it was though. It was Ax. It was. It was. It was. That listen, he got the hand onto that. And he should never have been beaten like that. I mean, I watched it back a couple times, and like, yeah, there's no way that goal should have never went in. It was a good shot, right? And Doku did good to create the opportunity, but just based off of the angle and the coverage and the fact that he had his hand on that, that ball should have never went in there. That ball should have been pushed out to the side, 100%. But listen, we're not gonna be. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it shouldn't. That should have never happened. But again, he made some good saves. Throughout the game, he made some very important saves. He made one mistake. And hopefully, his first season is done. Second season, let's go into, and let's see, and hopefully he just improves and makes less of the mistakes. Waga, if I'm saying your name right, Waga's here. Let's be happy today. We are absolutely happy. We are absolutely happy. Cheers. We won, right? And yeah, we done it. Lion saying he lost man of the match after that for me. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I had to lower the score on him. But for me, Kobe Mainu was the man of the match. I don't even think it was close. I think the performance that Kobe put in, um, was just his performance was untouchable by any play on that pitch today. 100%. Um, oh yeah, that's right. Brian saying we got City again in the Community Shield in August. Yep. So we could go again for that. Hopefully we'll be a lot stronger, and we'll be a lot ready, a lot more ready to go when that rolls around. The summer's coming up. Transfer window is coming up, and Eric Ten Hag on the ropes. Well, Eric Ten Hag's on holiday. Eric Ten Hag's going on holiday. He's already said this. Eric Ten Hag is not bothered. I think Eric Ten Hag knows fairly well, and I think Eric Ten Hag is fairly confident in himself and his ability. And he doesn't really seem to be bothered. I think he wants to stay at Manchester United, but I don't think he's worried. I think he knows as a manager and as a man that he's done his job, and if somebody decides that they don't want you, then they don't want you. But as long as you can walk away from that and say, I did what I had to do, I did the right thing, at the end of the day, these people are the ones that don't have the vision, or they're making the wrong decision. That's on them, and it's not on me. And I think Eric Ten Hag seems pretty set on that, for sure. So, Axel was saying, I think Doku's shot was too good. Only a short deflection was achievable. It doesn't matter. Now we won. Yeah, that's the most important thing. That's why I wasn't trying to be too critical of any of the players, because at the end of the day, they did a job as a team, and that's something that I've been asking for like the whole season, pretty much. Is just to perform as a team. Perform as a team. Um, it's one thing to have a game where you're like, prime Ronaldo or something, and absolutely tear it up, and then score a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10 or whatever. But at the end of the day, as long as the team performs as a team, and they perform like how they did today, it doesn't really matter if you don't play an 8 out of 10. Because the team performance is the most important performance, because that's what wins you matches. It's a team sport. Lion saying, to be honest, if Mano would take a dump on the pitch, we would all say that was amazing. Probably. I mean, it would certainly be amazing, because that's something we've never seen. Ray's saying we've hit 16 likes. I think that's a new high for the channel, so big up to everybody that's liked it. If you're a new subscriber, I think we're at 2,733 subscribers. We're trying to get to 3K, would be cool. So, if we could get there, we're on a journey, we're on the road, we're gonna get there. Lyle's giving Lion a red card for that comment. Yeah, Rajat is here, back in here, saying, did the job for the most part defending Haaland's threat, nullified KDB as over the match. Why abandon project when it's winning? Well, yeah. It would be solely based down to arrogance, probably, I would call it. Or just I don't know, stubbornness, just doing what you think is the best decision. I don't really know. But here, somebody's rounded up Kobe Mainoo's, I guess, season in a nutshell, you could say. So Kobe Mainoo, in his first senior season at Manchester United, knocked Chelsea out of the Europa League. He's knocked Newcastle out of Europe. He's ruined Klopp's farewell tour. He's won more trophies than Arsenal. He's won the FA Cup on City's head. And he has more trophies than Spurs since 2008. So, this is some of the things you get online. I mean, I love it because it's funny and it's hilarious, you know what I mean? But, yeah. Kobe Mainoo actually put up. Here's our star. Ready? This is actually Kobe Mainoo? When did he get a Twitter account? All right, I gotta follow him. Here, look, I'm gonna clip this guy's up for you, because actually Kobe Mainoo just put up some stuff. So let me screenshot this and get this in here for you, so you could see our young stars. Since we are talking about Kobe Mainoo, he literally just posted this on Twitter. Didn't even know he had a Twitter. But let me see how I'm gonna do this. I gotta put this somewhere. This. I need a picture. Yeah, let me just load one up anyway. Image. Yeah, we'll take that. Pictures. Here we go. You want to see what Kobe Mainoo just put out on Twitter? Here we go. So one of these troll accounts here, right? 7 hours ago, they said that it was going to be 20-0. And Kobe Mainoo has just retweeted this. And he said, okay. I mean, the kid is yeah, 16 without Richard. Waga, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. I appreciate it, sir. Welcome to the community. Welcome to the family. We're glad to have you on board. We look forward to you being a part of this community, getting involved and getting to know everybody in here. We have some lovely, lovely people, and everybody is everybody is well respected in here. Everybody has respect for each other, and very, very, very good opinions. So we're glad to have you on board, Waga. So thank you for joining, and we are missing Richard. Yeah. I would like to have 60 likes for his 60 beers, but I don't think we're gonna get that. But that's okay. Yeah, but look at Kobe just putting this out there, just saying, yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. You're speaking nonsense. They're speaking nonsense here, and this is what I'm saying. Like, people didn't give us a chance. They thought we were gonna get absolutely obliterated. And this is what happens when people that don't follow the team, and just chat shit. This is what happens. This is what happens. They just look at the season position. They look at a couple highlights or something. They see a clipped up video and they're like, these guys are absolute shit. And they don't take into account any of the circumstances. They don't analyze anything in depth. They don't look at the facts. They don't. Give Eric Ten Hag time and we repeat Ferguson era. I don't think we're going to repeat the Ferguson era. I don't think you could repeat it. I don't think you could repeat it. I think that was something that will forever be special. I don't think we'll ever see something like that again. And especially with the way football is going, you know what I mean? With the way football is going, I don't think there is an environment for that to happen. But we could still have a very successful and long success with him, but for him to be there for 25 years and win all the things Ferguson's done and all that, I don't think it'll ever happen again with any manager. Even somebody like Guardiola at City, like he's not gonna get those 25 years there. He's not gonna do it as long as Sir Alex. um So, I just don't think we'll see that again. But certainly, I think he could have a very decently long um career at Manchester United, and it could be filled with a lot of success, 100%. Um, Waga saying, "Come on, people, smash the like button and get it up to 60." Well, we need to have like 60 viewers first. I don't even know what we got in here. You know what I mean? But we're building. We're working on that. Um, we're getting there. But I appreciate the encouragement, the enthusiasm from Waga joining. You're gonna fit right in. You're gonna fit right in. Um, yeah. We've been long pretty wild. We've had a lot of viewers come in. And we got 16 likes, so I'm pretty happy. United won today, so I'm pretty happy as well. Like, it's been an overall good day. It's been an overall very, very, very good day. I don't think you could have asked for a better day. The only thing that probably would have made it better is if we had Richard here. Sadiq is here. Sadiq is saying Ratcliffe better not sack Eric Ten Hag after this victory. We beat City, and last year we were FA Cup finalists. There should be a statue of Eric Ten Hag outside of Old Trafford. Well, I think the statue thing is a little bit too far. And he's saying, I've had a few beers perhaps, and we love our club. Well, there you go. Yeah, the statue thing is a little too far yet. I wouldn't be against him getting a statue at some point, right? If he went on to do great things. Yeah, the statue thing is probably, but the other points he made, absolutely 100% agree with you. He better not sack Ten Hag. Again, I think it would be the complete incorrect decision to do. And and we beat City. And last year we were FA Cup finalists. I mean, three finals, 2 years, two trophies. in 2 seasons. I don't know what more of a better start you want for a project under a manager than the one we have. And that's why I'm saying I think it is the absolutely incorrect decision if he is removed out of this club. It actually doesn't make sense. In my opinion, it would probably take the club fresh. And there's no guarantee of whatever you're starting being a success. And we've already had small tastes of success under this guy. We've won 2 trophies. 2 trophies in 2 years is better than a lot of the managers under Fergie. Has any of the managers after Fergie had the rate of 2 trophies in 2 seasons, back to back? I don't. I know Mourinho won the Europa League. Did he win another trophy at that time? And Van Gaal obviously won the FA Cup. Solskjaer didn't win a cup. He could have won a couple. Just didn't happen. And David Moyes never counts. Lyle saying, heck, give Eric Ten Hag 5 more years. And in that, at least a Premier League win with constant top 4 finishes and maybe UCL, and have a few more FA Cup and Carabao Cups. That would be crazy successful. Line saying, and Carabao that season. Jose. So under Jose, we won the Carabao and we won the Europa League in that same season. I forget. But okay, yeah. So, yeah. So under Jose, we won 2 trophies, but in the same season. Also, Community Shield. If you want to count the Community Shield, Community Shield's a little Community Shield's not that respected. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I guess for the people that win it, they respect it, right? But nobody else really respects it. Axe Lord. Hello? Oh, wait. Richard's here. Richard! Richard! Richard, how you doing? Richard has made it, everybody. Oh, my God. We've been talking about you the whole time. Oh, I gotta fix that. Your name's getting cut off. Oh, because I put the trophy there. Okay, that's my bad. But thank you, who just subscribed. Put your name in the chat so I could read you out, because I've dropped the ball on this one. And I cut your name off. But Richard, it's good to see you. Richard is with us. Richard, toast up to Richard here. Richard, I got the Stellas going. Richard, how many have you had? You are. Yeah, we assume so. But as long as you've enjoyed yourself, as long as you enjoyed yourself, and you've you're safe, and you're okay. That's all that matters. You know what I mean? That's what we wanted most. We didn't think you were gonna make it. And I was about, we've hit 18 likes. Wow, absolutely fantastic. I absolutely am very, very, very happy for that. And thank you to everybody that's liked the video, and thank you to everybody that's in here. I've got Richard Stella here. Yep. I got you, Stella, there, Richard. They sent it to me instead of you. But yeah, thank you to everybody that's subscribed. That's a new subscriber. I did mess this up because I put the trophy here. Let me move the trophy over here. You know what? We could cover their name as well. We could cover their name. Their name is not important. We got a floating trophy. Now, let me put it here. Here you go. Just for the subscribers, because the subscribers pop up over here, and I was blocking with the trophies. Somebody subscribed, and I couldn't read their name out. We were about to send out a search party for you. Yeah, we were in the beginning. We kind of forgot that you said you were going out with your heinies. So you know. Ray's telling you, Richard, I told you after Arsenal defeat that we were gonna win the cup. And he did. Ray was here, and he was saying it for weeks. He was saying that we're going to win the FA Cup. We're going to win the FA Cup. saying we were going to beat City. And he was absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Sadiq saying my choice of poison is, I'm gonna pronounce this wrong. Who Garden? Cheers from Toronto. Oh, you're from Toronto? All right, I got a buddy up in Toronto actually. I got a buddy up in Toronto, and I actually I know another person, a girl that's also from Toronto. But I got one of my good buddies that lives up in Toronto. So shout out to Toronto for being in here with us as well, and Sadiq. Um, Good to have you in here. Richard saying when that second goal went in, I was in the middle of the room trying to kick it in. I hope you didn't break your TV or anything doing that. I hope you didn't smash nothing. I hope you didn't smash nothing important. You didn't break a chair or nothing like that. Trying to kick it in though. Yeah, we were in the same too. The floor in the house was definitely taking some it was definitely taking a beating where I was. It could have we could have made a hole in it at any minute. And I'm just keeping, because this is about around the time that news does come out. I'm actually I don't think any of the news that we want, or any of the news that we might fear, I don't think it's gonna come today. I think they're going to withhold anything, because usually we do get news around this time, and it might come later tonight maybe. But I think whatever news, I think they've cut all news, in terms of anything that would come out of the club or anything like that. I don't think, if they do decide that they do decide to move on Ten Hag, they're not going to do it tonight. They want the fans to celebrate. They want, whatever. So it would be even more idiotic the fact of that, to get rid of Ten Hag, but it would be even more idiotic to do it literally on the day that you've won the cup. So I don't think I don't think we're gonna get any like big breaking news. We do have a couple updates here. Paul Scholes. Paul Scholes talking about Kobe Mainu, saying, read a few comparisons between me and the kid last week. Don't waste your time. He is 10 times the player I was at 19. That's a big endorsement from Paul Scholes, and I'm here for it. Listen, we need our legends to do more things like this. Whether he believes that or not, whether he whether he's embellishing a little bit, you know what I mean? We need our ex legends to start doing this more. Big the fucking kid up. You know what I mean? Like, that's only gonna do him. It's only gonna affect him positively. For you to be a 19-year-old Kobe Mainu, to come out of the youth system, to have the first season you've had, and to see a legend of the club like Paul Scholes come out and say that he's 10 times the player I was at 19. That's only gonna send his confidence through the roof. It's only gonna make him more determined and be in a more positive place. And I feel like our legends should be doing this a lot more. Protect our own and criticize everybody else. And at times, like, if they are really bad or whatever, then you can criticize, but don't go overtly crazy with the criticism, and then just back our players. You know what I mean? Back our players. Like I would like to see our United legends, like, really, like, when you're on Sky or whatever the fuck it is, go criticize everybody else. Harsh. Criticize them. You know what I mean? And our guys, you should defend them as much as possible. Scholes went on to say on Kobe Mainu, said, just love the way he receives the ball, the calmness, the awareness of what's around him, and of course, big goals and big games. He said, this boy is special. He's a fucking red. He's put that on his Instagram. This is Paul Scholes talking about Kobe Mainu. And absolutely, I agree with everything Scholesy has had to say here. I'm happy he's saying things like this. And Kobe Mainu is definitely a red. 100% red in and red out. We have a couple more things. Eric Ten Hag has also said something. Eric Ten Hag has said, I have another year in my contract. I am working on a project. I see no reason to leave. So Eric Ten Hag making it very clear. He doesn't want to leave. He doesn't see a reason for him to be separated from this club. He obviously wants to continue working on what he's been trying to do here at Manchester United. And effectively, I guess he's letting it know that, if I am no longer here, I just want you to know that it was not my decision in any way. And that I wanted to stay here and I wanted to continue on. So, fairs to Eric Ten Hag. I think he has every right to do that. And I think he should be doing something like that. I think, set the narrative straight for what it is so that there's no manipulation and there's no twisting of what it is. This is coming directly from the manager's mouth. And nobody can say otherwise. So, if he does end up getting sacked or replaced, nobody can put out some PR spin bullshit and turn it up on him and basically say, oh, they couldn't come to an agreement between each other. Eric Ten Hag decided he wanted to leave, and INEOS decided that they wanted to go in this direction. Eric Ten Hag is making it very clear that he wants to stay at this club, and if he is no longer at this club, it will solely be down to INEOS and INEOS alone, and it has nothing to do with him. So there's that narrative. And tell the media to go write that one instead of some fake shit. I think Marcus Rashford has posted something. I think Rashford put up the picture of himself crying and said, people want to know what Manchester United means to me, with a heart. And that's pretty much what I was saying before. You know what I mean? Like he does love this club. I just really do feel like he is one of these people, these human beings that things that it affects him very harshly. And unfortunately, it carries over into other aspects of his life, and he struggles with separating that. He's a human being. And at the end of the day, everybody is different. You know what I mean? Some people can just block that shit out and continue to do their job, and some people can. And that's why I'm saying I really do hope Marcus Rashford takes this time off. He's been given a break. I hope he takes his time off. I hope he really focuses on himself, his mental health. And he gets that. What are you guys saying in here? Because I'm missing a lot of this because I'm reading the internet. Waga saying, have you ever think about having a call-in show, or is that for the next season? So I do want to do something like that. I'm gonna have to work on setting that up. I would absolutely love that, because I think that's obviously the best thing ever, is to get fans on and have their opinions and whatnot. I will look to see if I could get it set up for next season. If it is something that we're gonna do, it would definitely be for next season, because now the transfer window's coming up. I'm gonna be going on vacation. I'm gonna still be here doing the shows and stuff. It's just that I'm not gonna have my normal setup. And it's kind of gonna be an on the go type of thing. For the majority of the summer. But I will be back, obviously, for the start of the season, and then we could start that up for the start of the season. I obviously have to look into how to set that up properly and all that, so that it works smoothly and whatnot. But that is something that I did always want to do, especially with the community growing and stuff. I would love to hear people's voices and get people to properly express their opinions and have their say, and not just have myself talking. So we will look to set that up somehow, some way at one point, for sure. That is definitely in a plan, going forward. And I appreciate you asking that. I would love for that to happen. Axelord saying Ten Hag has been very supportive and encouraging this whole season. I hope the legends would learn to do this. Yeah, you know what it is, like the legends, they also had a certain standard, a certain mentality, while they were at the club, and I feel like they kind of carried that over, um, with them into like their personal life, and they're just very they're hard asses, is what it is. You know what I mean? Um, but they got to learn to adapt as well. You know. Um, Lyle saying Lyle saying, this is why I love Keane as a pundit. He criticizes United rightfully at times, but he defends the team from unnecessary crap. He does. He does. Although I still do feel like he could probably, but it's just Roy Keane's personality. So I do feel like he could do a little bit more protecting. But yeah, he does give credit when it's due. Um, Lyle saying, if Eric Ten Hag stays, then next season he is going to earn a new contract. Well, that I think is one of the issues that is going on right now. And probably part of the discussion. He does have 1 year left in his contract. I assume he probably does want a contract extension. Probably right now at this point. You know, he would probably be asking for it. I don't know if INEOS would be willing to give it to him. If they do keep him, they might just want him to go into next season with the 1 year left on his contract and then figure it out at that point. So I don't know. We got to see what happens. Ray's saying my jersey is going is going to be lucky for United. Wore it for the first time on Man United tour in the USA against Arsenal. Never lost when I wore my jersey. Sadiq saying Beckham, Carrick, Scholes, Giggs, Rooney, Ronaldo, and Ali are my favorite Reds. Yeah. I mean, the fact of like when I heard Rooney speaking, like Rooney is fairly, um, Rooney fairly protects the players. Like he tries to back the team. He tries to back the players. He doesn't, as far as I've seen lately, he hasn't overtly criticized any of the players. He was fairly positive today on BBC in the build up. He also called the 2-1, scoreline. So a little bit more like Rooney, I guess. Richard saying, I don't care, guys. I just want to enjoy this weekend. This takes me back to being at Wembley in '77. Absolutely, enjoy it. Enjoy today, and enjoy the rest of it. We get to enjoy it until next season. Realistically, we get to enjoy it until the start of next season. Richard saying, Eric, 150 from Malta to Belfast. Is it? Yeah, those tickets are cheap, man. Those tickets are cheap. Probably with Ryanair or something like that, right? But we'll see. Well, you could also go from Belfast to Malta. I'll be over there for 2 months, So we can link up. We could do a video together. We'll do a transfer update together in one of the videos. Ray saying couple years I'd be there, Richard. George Best Belfast. Man like, I'm gonna pronounce this wrong. Man like snacking Fenwa. I definitely butchered the shit out of that. Proud to be a Red Devil. Well, we're proud to have you in here. I apologize if I absolutely butchered your name, but I tried my best. That's all I could. That's all I could do. Well, we're proud for you to be a part of the Red Devils. Richard saying Charlton, Edwards, Law, and Georgie Best were united. You can keep the rest. Yes. Richard always coming in with the fantastic chance. Fantastic chance. And I don't think I see any news, but we've been live pretty long. Obviously, I let it go a little bit longer because you know what? Fuck it. We won today, so we could do whatever we want. But this is about a 2-hour. This is about a 2-hour stream right here. We've hit a record 18 likes on the channel so far, so that's very good. And we've gotten a couple new subscribers and new community members, a new couple additions to the family. So all in all, it's been an absolutely fantastic day. United beating City, winning the FA Cup. Um, we've hit the top likes on any video or episode that we've done so far. We've got new subscribers, new people in the channel. My thing's delayed, so if we got 19, we got 19. But yeah, I think absolutely fantastic. It's been great. I've really enjoyed sharing this. We've also gotten a very high number of views in terms of going for live. So today's been a very fantastic day. I'm glad I was able to celebrate this with all of you today. I think we should end it. And then we will focus on what's coming up after this going forward. Obviously the transfer news is going to be hitting like crazy now going forward. And listen, if we do get anything major that really breaks, we will definitely go live again. It might not be at a time that you are available, but we will go live. I don't expect anything from today. We might go live again tomorrow based on what comes out. But again, thank you everybody for tuning in. I greatly appreciate you guys. Thank you for everybody that smashed the like button, and everybody that's participated today. You guys have been absolutely fantastic and great, and I'm so happy for you guys. I'm happy for this club for winning. And we greatly appreciate you guys being a part of the community. So thank you. Richard saying he's going to watch the stream again. Yeah, definitely get in there. We shouted you out a couple times, so you shouted out in there. Lyle telling everybody like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to stay up to date. Absolutely. If you don't listen to me, listen to Lyle. Listen to somebody else in the community. Greatly appreciated. Love you all. Waga, thank you for joining. We're happy to have you here. We look forward to hearing from you next time. We look forward to seeing you on the next episodes and shows and whatnot. So we're glad to have you part of the community. And thank you for everybody that's been involved. Shout out to Rajat, who was in here before. Ray, Richard came at the end, and we're grateful for that. Axe Lord, can't forget him. Lionhearts was in here. Brian Foskett, just Juiced Go, or if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Sandy was in here. And I think that's about it. I think I covered everybody and I shouted everybody out. So if I did, yeah. So everybody go enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Saturdays. If it's Saturday for you, enjoy the FA Cup win. Go celebrate it the best way you can celebrate it. And I wish you guys all the best. And I will see you on the next one. Until then, stay good, stay healthy, and be good.